Okay, so coming back to this, why UX research is important. I already emphasized on it earlier, but let me give you a few examples so probably you'll be able to understand better. So I'm sure we have all have seen televisions like these everywhere around us in all our homes. But you will be very surprised to know that a television didn't look like this when I mean in the early days. So earlier, I don't know if you guys have seen, but there used to be this huge set of like black box, and they needed their own separate space where you have to maybe like use a separate furniture to kind of uh, put them up, and they used to look huge, bulky, and very tech kind of gadget, right? So if you have seen the old TVs in our parents' times, but what happened was so Samsung was trying to make, I mean, do some innovation around television. So they started doing their research team started doing a lot of uh, kind of field visits, as in like they started visiting some of the users, actually really understanding how they watch television, how they perceive a TV in their homes. And what they realized was that um, a television is not, I mean, for people, they use it to show off, like show off as in they want it to kind of, it's for them, it's more like it's not something which is viewed like a TV, but it's more like a piece of furniture which is a part of your house. So like which is a part of your room. So they do not treat it as a like a big, I mean, a gadget which they don't want to show off the technical capabilities. Rather than that, they are more concerned about like how aesthetically it looks like, how well it goes with the ambience of the room, and how much space does it take. So they treat it more like a furniture, and that's what the learning was from their very deep research. It was not like, I think they ran it for months, visited people across the globe, and really learned about their lifestyle, how they treat a TV, and all of that. And that was something, I mean, the designers, they took that insight, and what they did was that they realized that TVs need to be aesthetically pleasing. They need to look like something which people want to show off that, hey, this looks so great, and I have bought this TV. So they designed something which we all have nowadays, which is a flat screen, and you can put it on the wall. It doesn't need to have a separate furniture and all that, and it just goes well with the. If you put a TV like this, it just improves the ambience of your room. So that was something which was an innovation which is derived from a UX research point of view. Um, Another good example, this I'm sure a lot of us have used, and coming to the digital side of things. So we all have used, I'm sure, Google Maps, right? So there's this one very interesting thing they did. So in India, especially, or in a few more emerging markets like Indonesia, they realized that people use two-wheelers a lot. So a lot of, I mean, especially in tier two, tier three cities, it's the roads are not that great and all that. So people find for shorter distances, people want to use two-wheelers, and or not just tier two, tier three, but everywhere in India. So they did understand there is a need for two-wheeler mode, which was not there earlier. So how did they come to know about it? I'll talk about it in a second. But what if you use this mode currently? It's very different from other modes. It has better voice navigation. It has custom routes, which will be better for driving through using a two-wheeler, and a lot more information, which is much better than like if you're driving a two-wheeler, then that is useful for you. So what they did was they just went to, as I mean, similar to the previous example, the team of researchers in Google, they went to look for, to really understand the Indian market, understand the Indonesian users, and even like the drivers. Like you can see the delivery guy, this snapshot from delivery boys who like have to kind of deliver food and a lot of other things. So they all use the basically two-wheeler. So they did a thorough research, a thorough understanding. They went on field trips to different cities again and try to understand users' behaviors around two-wheelers. How do they actually look at maps when they're driving? Because that's also very tricky, but people manage it somehow. Some have their own like some ways of putting it while they're driving on the bikes and all. What kind of people are they who actually drive two wheelers? So they did a lot of research around it, and that kind of helps them really know that there is a need for a separate mode, which because the current walking mode or the four-wheeler mode and whatever there is, that is not sufficient for these users, and that's how they came to create this feature. There is a very interesting article also. I can share the link to this entire case study.